Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. I was so excited when I saw this foundation come out in like Trend Mood or whatever it was that I saw at first, but it's called the Total Cover Foundation. When I first saw this, I kind of imagined that this would be a nice in-between foundation from the Pro Matte and the Pro Glow from L'Oreal, and so I love both of them in their own right so much. So I was really excited just to get another foundation. I want to see a demo of how long I wear it. I'm going to do a wear test. It's going to be my first impression, so my review might change throughout the next coming months and weeks and stuff like that. So just take it with a grain of salt. But for now, I try to give my best opinions on it. And then if I have any updates, I'll tell you guys on my Snapchat or my Instagram or here on YouTube. Also, I just want to, I don't want to apologize, it's not my fault, but I'm sick, and if I sound funny, that's why. Alright, I've already done my eyes. I'm out of the weather, so hopefully, I already moisturized my skin, and my skin's pretty dry right now. It's a thing right now. For my primer, I'm going to take the Too Faced Hangover FX. I've just been needing this, especially in the winter time, now that I'm like sick and everything's like really dry. Oh, my hands are cold. Oh, I've just been needing something like this to hydrate my skin better. I've only seen 2 applications of this foundation. One used the beauty blender, one used a beauty blender, and then they didn't work out, so they used a brush. So I'm just going to use my beauty blender because I've never had any issues with the beauty blender applying foundation. Alright, the color I'm wearing is 309. These are the color ranges that I go from on all of them. I'm usually a 108 in the Pro Matte. This one's a little light sometimes, so I always bounce between 108 and 110. In the Pro Glow, I am between a 209 and a 205. 205 just has a better color payoff. Based on some swatches that I saw online, it would be the same issue too with these. They're a very, very pink, kind of gray toned. And the 305 is a good light tone for like orangey, olivey, yellow undertones. And then the 309 was my darker shade. So this might be too dark for me. And honestly, in the store when I was there, we were at Target. We just randomly saw, me and my sister randomly saw the display. And the only thing they had were like 5 dark shades. And they were all dark. So it's kind of interesting. This might be too dark, but it's a good tone. I like it for sure. Oh no, this might work. Sorry, I literally can't like breathe out of my nose. I wonder what colors they have for the summertime, because this is like my perfect color right now. It looks darker, and like the packaging is way different than like that. Like that's not the same color. Never mind. If you guys have noticed, I've been doing a couple of Instagram live videos or streams. Those are super fun. Usually if I'm not filming a video, or if let's say like I'm not doing anything special, I like to do one of those just to kind of fill the void of not having videos up. So make sure you guys are following me on my Instagram, because those are like live, and you can ask me questions like as I go. That's actually a pretty good match. I'm not even gonna try to. Wow, this is super nice. It looks good on my nose too. Usually the nose is where trouble ensues. Yeah, so I had no issues at all with the beauty blender. I think it worked really well. I also don't put it directly on my hand. I put it on a spatula. I think it's the best way to do it, because then you can pick it up. But I'm even going over it a few times and nothing's like lifting or anything, so I'm not sure exactly what some of the girls were talking about with. In the mirror, it looks like a drier formula, but it doesn't feel dry or heavy. So I like this. This actually looks very similar to the way the Infallible Pro Matte looks, except it doesn't feel the way this one feels. This one's like heavy duty, you can feel it. For my concealer, I'm going to be using the Pro Conceal. I was like, what is this? Pro Conceal by LA Girl. This is just the one that I use usually underneath the eyes, because it doesn't really affect how my makeup lasts at all. And then to set my face, I'm going to be using my banana powder. I've been using this lately for underneath my eyes. It just doesn't give me as much of a highlighted brightness. I like it to be bright but not white. And then I'm doing what I will typically do with every application that I do. I usually will dust my face just a little bit, especially if wow, this is really smooth. But I'm not going to test out how it wears quite yet because I want my bronzer and everything to go on smoothly. And oh no, what did I do? Oh, I dipped it into the black eyeshadow. Okay, well if there's black right there, that's what that is. I had a black eyeshadow right here. I just want all my bronzers and stuff like that to go on it smooth. Alright, now that I'm all finished with my makeup, I was going to set it really fast, but before I do that, I want to just kind of peek and see how everything's sitting in my face. Obviously, I've been looking in the mirror at my eyeballs and stuff like that to apply everything else. But let me look and pause and see how everything is holding up. This color's a pretty good match. It's actually, I'm really happy with it. I think it's a closer, that color is closer to like an NC40. Right now, I think I'm in between NC40 and NC42, but it works. You can definitely darken it with a bronzer, but you can also lighten it up if you put like a lighter concealer on top of your foundation. So there's always ways to manipulate the color if it's not exactly your shade. But this foundation looks the way the Pro Matte does. It just feels better. It feels better. I think kind of like glided onto the face really well. I think it does have to do with the fact that I put on the banana powder to kind of set the perimeters of my face, but I really always do that because I don't want blotchy bronzer. I also kind of set in this area because this is where I tend to get oily, especially right now. I've been blowing my nose like crazy, so I don't want, you know, I want to try to keep it lasting as long as possible. So I'm going to keep this makeup on for a few minutes. So far, I love the way it applied with the Beauty Blender. I thought it looked really good, and it didn't give me any issues at all. So I'm not sure exactly what the concern was with other people who are applying it with the Beauty Blender. I'm not really exactly sure. And I think that the finish is really great. It's matte, but it doesn't feel matte. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels awesome. My face is needing a little bit of hydration, so I'm going to add some Healing Master Fix. I just need it because I'm just sick. I just need like funny like hydration. I was even debating on doing this one while I was sick, but I just needed to get it done. So 1 second. Hold on. I'm going to keep this foundation on for a few hours and then I'll check back in. I am going to be going outside. I'm like praying that everything is okay. It's not too windy or too cold or too sunny or too anything. Alright, I'll see you guys in a few hours. Okay, this is my first check-in and I realized I'm wearing a different lipstick, but the other one was just a little too much. It was smearing everywhere. I was wearing this makeup for about 5 hours now, and I blew my nose like 3 times, like full on. So let's see how the makeup is looking. It's definitely worn away right here, but that's like what I was expecting because I've literally been blowing my face. But everywhere else looks amazing. Like look how it's like smooth, and like you can do this and it's not gonna like budge away. And it's not oily. I don't know about the color though. The color seems like it's still too light, which is crazy because this is actually a darker color. I'm gonna look at some swatches online again to see if there's a darker one, but there's not a lot of yellow undertones in this line, so I'm not thrilled about having to get a different color. But it's like perfect, but not exactly. Like right here it looks a little light, but everywhere else looks great. So I'm not sure. Maybe I can mix that in with my trusty 209, which I blend in with everything. But the way it's laid on my skin, it looks great. The only thing I see that's a little bit dryish looking is right in this area. But this is the part where, like in this area here, it always tends to look a little dry. And then my nose looks a little dry. I think it has to do with my cold, especially in this area. But everywhere else looks amazing. I just love it. I just have to take my lashes off. I don't think I'm going to do an extra check-in because I pretty much know how it's worn. I think it's really, really great for longevity. It lasts a long time. I don't know about the color. It's not my favorite color. I think it could be a little deeper, but their color range is a little... It's one of the reasons why I love MAC so much is because they like get every single color and there's so many textures. Would I wear this foundation again? Yeah, I really like it. I just don't know how it's gonna fit me. Like, I'm going to Miami and I'm not gonna be able to wear this. I don't think the price is overpriced either. I think it's a really good foundation. It's honestly, this is like a very good in between these two. Whoops. What's interesting is that this one says that this one's a high complete like coverage compared to the Pro Matte. I think this one gives you way more coverage than this one. I don't think this gives you any less, but like this one covers everything. This one doesn't exactly, in my opinion, and it actually says that it's higher or complete coverage. So that's kind of interesting. I just wish that the color ranges were very similar to the first line, because I think the first, the Pro Matte, these had really good like yellow undertones that I think suit more of a variety of people than this pink neutral type of colors. I'm excited to see what other colors they have in store, so I'm going to play around and see what other ones I find, and hopefully I can find my perfect color. But I think this is like a pretty dead-on NC40 kind of tone. Again, this is in the color 309 Caramel Beige. Granted, I am sick, so my skin's pretty dry, but this hasn't broken into any oils, and that's pretty shocking. Like usually right around here is where I tend to get oily, and I didn't get oily. It does better for me for oily skin than the Studio Fix Fluid from MAC. And if you guys want me to go deeper in depth about my foundation collection and why I choose the ones that I do, I'll have a further like in-depth kind of review slash decluttering series coming up. I already posted that one on my page, so if you haven't, I'll link it at the very end. But I think this one's gonna find a little home in my collection. I'm actually pretty excited about it. Alright, that is all for my review and demo and wear test. I'll keep you guys posted all over my social medias if I find any other like tidbits that might be helpful to you when buying this foundation. But so far I think I'm going to keep it, and I actually do enjoy the way it wears. I hope you guys enjoyed that review and demo and wear test. By now I would have given you my full honest review, so if you guys want to know more about what my final thoughts are, or any updated thoughts that I might have, make sure that you're following me on my Instagram and on my Snapchat. I usually will give some random tidbits here and there about different foundations, how it wears. By now I should be in Miami, so if you want to see what I'm doing there, make sure you're following me on my Instagram and my Snapchat. I might be vlogging too, so if you haven't checked out my vlog channel, I'll link it right over here. Alright, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!